paid in the National Football League.
All right, let's because I want to get to the Gannon stuff. Let's move quick.
That's they wrong for that, man. You guys are all wrong.
What?
Thank you, Lord. Awesome. Haha, good news. Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's just go there. Let's go Gannon. So Gannon's out. And listen, the city has hated this guy from Jump Street. I do not hate him. I don't think he had a good game, but I don't hate the guy by any stretch. However, he's gone. You know, look, however you feel about him, that's major shakeup on your staff. Like, we just went through how different we didn't get to the offense, but how different the roster is going to look like. You've now lost both of your coordinators. And that, at times, I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but I've seen that be the downfall of an organization. Andy Reid never replaced Rivera and Harbaugh or Leslie Frazier or some of the other guys that left over the years. He never did. He was lucky that Jim Johnson didn't want to take a head coaching job, but he lost a lot of people along the way, and he didn't really replace them properly. And there were maybe guys in place, right? Maybe you just slide, Denard Wilson, in there, or you go from the outside. This is a major thing. You lost both of your coordinators, and I bet you teams are looking to poach Brian Johnson right now as an offensive coordinator if you don't lock him up.
Yep.
Well, that's what happens. You win, you have success. Everybody wants to pick you off. But there are a few names out there that I think people would be happy with if the Eagles could get them to come in here. I'll start with Lovie Smith. Do you think if Lovie Smith came in here, people would remember who Jonathon Gannon's name is?
Absolutely not. It'd be a done deal.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith was not a head coach. He's had his chance at the pro level twice and at the collegiate level, but he falls in that category of there's some people that are just not meant to be head coaches that are outstanding position coaches.
Right.
Lovie Smith was an outstanding defensive coach, and you know what? Nothing against him for wanting to be a head coach. It just didn't work out for him. Okay. Mm-hmm. But if you get him to come here, I'm tap dancing in the streets. Mm-hmm. If you can get Lovie Smith to come here as a defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Let me give, for people who may not know who Denard Wilson is, he's the Eagles passing game coordinator and defensive backs coach. So the first year he was here, he came in with Nick. In 2021, he was just the defensive backs coach, and then they added passing game coordinator. The defense has put up good numbers. He's coached with the Eagles, with the Jets. He's coached with the Rams in both LA and St. Louis. He coached with the Bears. His first year in the NFL was as a pro scout in 2008, worked his way up from pro scout, defensive quality control assistant, defensive backs coach, passing game coordinator, and DBs with the Jets, D-backs, and then defensive backs and, a coordinator. So that's his history in terms of he was a grad assistant at Maryland, and he was a grad assistant at his alma mater, or an assistant at his alma mater, DeMatha. He's from the Washington, D.C. area. So just throwing it out there.
Okay.
That's who he is.
Okay.
So he's a possibility, and you keep the continuity of bringing him on and staff. But I don't know. Do they bring two guys from the staff up? I don't know.
I think when it comes to that D coordinator position, you got to have somebody with a pedigree there, because it's like anytime you have the predecessor has a great measure of success. What's the mindset, or what's the talk? Man, I hate to be the next guy replacing so-and-so who just left. Mm-hmm. So even though people were indifferent about Gannon, he coordinated a defense that put up incredible numbers. And we know this defense is going to take a hit in a lot of ways. But whoever comes in here, the expectation is, because Philadelphia is about defense, the expectation is it better be somebody that can get this defense to give us respect in our city. Mm-hmm. And there are names out there that could possibly be that person, but you got to know what the Eagles are thinking. I've always talked about how Eagles are good about promoting from within, but in a situation like this, you got to bring in somebody with a pedigree that can make these guys stand up and take notice in a hurry.
A question for you guys: how is Gannon remembered?
Ooh, that's a great question. Wow.
I think he finally turned over and won the Eagles fans. I think he finally changed their mind.
I mean, they at least tolerated him. Towards the end, they started to tolerate him. You know what I'm saying? And when he said, let's effing gut him, I think he kind of won those guys over.
I know, but I think that got lost Sunday.
Yeah, I would say the feeling towards Gannon consistently, even when his team was rolling, has been indifferent as best. Indifferent.
I agree.
They never, a lot of people, Barrett, I think it's like you walk in that Mason-Dixon line. You either on the north or the south.
Right,
You know
man.
And most people, it was all season.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I'll put it to this way: I have definitely been a supporter and a proponent. I think he had a really bad Super Bowl, and it's unfortunate because that's going to be the last thing. That all that did was confirm to the people who didn't like him that they were right.
All right, JB. All right.
That's how he's going to be remembered.
JB said, "Look at the chat. They killed him.
Barrett get blasted.
Yeah, they're destroying. They're destroying.
when he said
Best news of the week.
Yeah, when Barrett said, "I think a lot."
Let me just run through this. You ready?
Like, what?
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
QB shredded him.
It's true.
He'll be remembered as a marshmallow. So long, Mr. Softy.
See? Yeah.
Seth Joyner's dancing in his living room, according to Chris D.
Oh, hold on, man. Anthony Williams said, ain't God good?
Oh,
something wrong with these people, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all crazy.
Hey, look at this. Spanish Phil said, I'll drive him to the airport. Stephen DeWolf, 7-yard cushion.
Bro.
Joseph Hudson, look at God.
Oh, my God.
They're killing him. Oh, my God.
Barrett, let me ask you this. Now, do you think people warmed up to Gannon?
You know what? I was wrong. I'm a man. I'm a big man. I admit when I was wrong, and I was definitely wrong for my analysis on that.
Oh, my goodness.
7-yard. They are killing them. All right, my fault, people. My fault.
Yeah.
My fault. I did not hear.
Look at that, James Smith.
Most of the people.
No. Hey, goodbye. I just want to thank everybody in the chat today for basically saying what I've been thinking, and I've said sporadically throughout the course of the season. I love you all.
Oh, my God.
Rest in peace, Gannon Wagon. More good times than bad. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, thank you, STN.
What? Yeah.
Thank you. Finally.
I'll go back to what I said. They won in spite of him. They produced in spite of him.
Yeah. Well, you know what? What the good thing about this is they're going to have to hurry up and find a coordinator, because this new coordinator will have Carl Blanca, whatever he wants to do with the defense, because now they've got to bring in so many people.
Right.
So you don't know you can bring in just basically anybody to come in. Like, Big Seals was talking about Sean Desai.
Yeah.
Pretty good coordinator. I mean, I'm not coordinator, but he was a assistant head coach.
He's got Philly ties. I think he's from Philly.
Oh, get out.
I got to check it. Yeah.
Even better. So, I mean, I think he was in.
I think he got his master's at Temple, if I'm remembering this right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pulling it up right now.
Dang, Lee Jackson. The Lord is my shepherd. He knew what I wanted. By pansy defense.
Yeah, Barrett. He coached at Temple, and from 06 to 10, he was the defensive and special teams coach.
Wow. So he was what's his name? Hassan Reddick's coach then.
Yeah. So he got So here it is. All right. He got his undergrad from BU. He got his master's from Columbia. Whoa. And then he earned a doctorate from Temple.
Wow.
This is an intelligent dude. Yeah. So he's coaching the NFL with the Bears, defensive quality coach from 13 to 18, safeties coach 19 and 20, defensive coordinator 21. Seattle, last year he was the associate head coach and defensive assistant. I mean, yeah.
Wow. Hey, this is a little extreme. I mean, 2020 vision. I get where you're coming from, but man, that's taking it to a whole nother level.
It's way over the top.
Wait, but it's good though. He said, "This is the best news. I would rather piss glass than have Gannon on another."
Nice.
Good. You know what? Here's the way I sum it up. Jonathan Gannon died in the desert, and in less than 48 hours was resurrected in the desert.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the way I put it.
So, look, I think what this forces you to do is re-examine everything. I think you're obviously going to look at the way the Super Bowl played out, but also you're going to have some fresh voices here, one way or the other. Whether it's someone who was an assistant now being, in charge of that unit, or you bring somebody in from the outside who has the opportunity to kind of take a step back and look at everything. Not that let's not turn this into like the Eagles were a 3-13 team, but there are things that maybe you could do differently or do better, and you're gonna have to figure it out with new players still on top of everything else.
Ooh, brainstorm.
Yeah.
What if the Eagles went after Eric Bieniemy?
Well, that's what.
As
Yeah,
the OC?
I said it earlier. The
Still
stream
said it earlier.
Yeah, the stream said it.
Ooh.
Yeah, the stream said what they think about doing it. I mean, we asked what do you think about doing it, and the stream was like, well, if he brought him in, how would he? I don't know if he would fit.
Wow.
Anybody could fit in this system, really. With that type of athlete, with Jalen Hurts, because the great thing about Jalen Hurts, he could do everything very, very good. He can do everything very, very good, and somebody could come in and honestly make Jalen Hurts a good drop back in the pocket passer, and he could do that.
True.
He could do that also,
right?
Or he could be that dual threat. See, the one thing Jalen did was take away all of the he took away all the notions that dual threat was a bad word about quarterbacks.
Right.
He took that out of the equation. Now the vogue thing to be is a dual threat quarterback, but it must be dual threat. You must be able to pass and run.
Right.
And Jalen does.
Yeah, he does. He does. All right, let's.
Wait, Rob. How do you feel about this, Rob? I want your emotional thoughts on the Gannon wagon. Rolling to the desert.
I think the celebration's a bit much. I think he was way better than people will give him credit for in general. But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you he didn't have an awful Super Bowl. He did. I expected this to happen. I thought both guys were going to be gone. So I'm not surprised one bit.
I didn't.
I thought Gannon shot himself in the foot in the Super Bowl. I really did.
I think they're going to look at it and say it was Mahomes and Andy Reid. This is not me. This is what I think how they look at it. It was Mahomes and Andy Reid doing it to him, the team, whatever. They had an unbelievable season, led the league in sacks. We're good in points per game. We're number one against the pass. There's a lot of takeaways. They're going to look at body of work, especially from this year with him. And that's what they're gonna hold their hat on, and not just what happened last. That's the way I think they're gonna look at it.
This is Arizona we're talking about here,
and it's Arizona we're talking about, who isn't always the swiftest of organizations to begin with.
No,
like here's what I'm doing. If I'm Arizona, I'm hiring an offensive mind / quarterback guru to try and figure out Kyler Murray. I'm not bringing in a defensive coordinator. Now, if you're gonna go with Gannon, you better get it right on the offensive side who you hire. I wonder if Gannon doesn't go hard after Brian Johnson, knowing what Brian Johnson did with Jalen Hurts.
Wow. Ding, 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 ding.
Don't look out for that. So
that's the problem with going to a Super Bowl. When you go to a Super Bowl, everybody picks you off then. After you go to a Super Bowl, you'll find that both the Eagles and the Chiefs coaching staff are going to get bombarded with requests, of people coming in trying to snatch what good things they see in your organization. And it's hard to stop a coach from going somewhere when you've had that much success.
Like vultures picking off bones.
Yeah, like a Brian Johnson. We're talking about a guy that just had a prolific offense with one of those prolific quarterbacks this year. He was integral in Hurts's progression as a player. Now the Eagles have to understand this. Look, it already started. That's why you had to give the offensive line coach a raise, because people are going to start coming to get him. Brian Johnson's going to have a raise. You know what I'm saying? It's the nature of the beast. Denard Wilson's going to have to get a raise, and not just in money, but in title. All these guys are going to need Kevin Patullo. Yeah, he's going to have to get a raise.
Absolutely. You're going to be doling out a lot more on your staff than you had.
Yes, no because Nick Sirianni's going to need a raise. How do you not?
No, he's going to get taken care of this. I agree with you, Barrett. Yeah.
So that's the nature of the beast, man.
Yeah, this is how good you are. That's part of the price of success.
Yeah,
dude. I retweeted Adam Schefter's breaking news that Gannon's getting a job in AC, and I put it I said, boom, and there it is. Eagles fans, what do you think? Man, these comments. Oh, you think this is bad here? These comments are off the chart.
Here's all I'm saying: be careful what you wish for.
Be careful. I'm telling you.
I'm just telling you.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
who out there is a good defensive coordinator, man? Besides Lovey, Lovey's going to be getting propositioned by a whole lot of people. Hell,
Sure, and rightfully so. Sure, he is.
Who's the? I mean, just like right now, I'm looking to see who the.
Well,
the
the
Colts
way
defensive
that you can
coordinator is.
sort of get around stealing somebody from somebody else's staff, if you wanted to do that, is you also give them the assistant head coach title.
Yes,
Yes.
That's considered a promotion.
absolutely.
We don't want Gus Bradley.
No, I'm just saying whoever it is. Like,
Why not, Barrett?
We don't need Gus Bradley.
Why
We've
not?
had Gus here before, man.
But he
Gus
wasn't in
is-
DC. He was an assistant.
So what, man? We don't want him. I don't want him. You want him? You can have him.
No, that's why I started laughing when you said that. I'm like,
Right.
I just want to know why you didn't want him.
Yeah,
I'm seeing some names thrown out there like Matt Patricia. No, thank you. Can we just stop,
Oh,
Right,
like that.
right.
please?
Brian
Please.
Flores
put up
already
with
has a job.
Yeah, Brian Flores. Where's he at now? He's in
Brian Flores already got hired. He's
either Minnesota or Denver.
Minnesota's defensive
No, it's
coordinator.
Minnesota. And I
He's
told my
done
brother,
deal.
I told my brother, I said, I hate to admit this to you, but you just got yourself one good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, no, they did. I was what I was also glad is there wasn't the backlash that we all kind of thought that he was going to get blackballed.
Everybody's sitting there talking
Exactly.
about Seth Joyner. You guys do not want Seth Joyner as your D coordinator.
No,
Oh no.
Why not?
Care to expand, Barry?
neither does the organization.
No, that's not because he couldn't be a good defensive coordinator. It's more so because the Eagles right now, like, bring in who? What? As much stuff as he said about Gannon. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Number one, it wouldn't. Number two,
wouldn't
like
happen.
I don't think he could handle guys not working hard like he did. I think it
No,
would drive
no.
Seth nuts.
It would.
That's
will.
just my interpretation of how hard.
Because
it
I
is.
mean, Seth is a guy that wants perfection,
Yes.
and he works toward perfection. And it's not like he's going to put the same work in the players is going to work,
Yeah,
and he's going to have that expectation. I
let me
can
throw this-
see him cussing out.
Oh, he'd lose his mind.
He'd be cussing everybody out, bro.
So Chris says those defenses, that's a result of only amazing talent we amassed here, not a result of ineffectual planning, inept games. All right, and Chris, I hear you, and you're definitely not alone in that feeling. I think you're giving Gunner agrees. I think you're shorting him a little bit. And again, I know what the lasting impression is, and it's bad. But I think he's more than just the product of talent on that side of the ball. I think he's a smart defensive mind. But hey,
one thing he would do, you wouldn't have all that BS, of guys not working hard. Like, Jordan Davis will be pimp sized when Seth is done with him. You can believe that. He'll be running around here, looking like Adonis, because he'll get his ass going. You won't have to worry about, cornerbacks playing off the ball. And all that. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? He'll whip him into shape, man. But I mean, at this point, can you laugh? What is wrong with him, man? I'm just saying.
Oh,
He's
man.
an in-your-face type of coach.
Oh, man.
Because he demands the same from you that he demands of himself.
Mhm.
And these new wave kids don't think like that.
Nope.
These new wave players don't want to be told what they're not doing. They want to be coddled. And he's not the one to do any coddling with anybody.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because Seth is going to lead by example. He'll show you more than he can tell you. He'll get down in a three-point stance and go up against Lane Johnson to dictate and try to show you what he's talking about. He's going to show you more than he can tell you. He's going to show you how to go fill a hole. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of coach Seth would be.
Yeah.
And these new young players wouldn't understand that vantage point because they always want to know why.
Yeah.
And they accept that. He said, because I effing told you that. That's why.
Yeah, you need 53 psychologists for today's player.
You do, man.
Now
You do.
with Seth. Seth is going to treat everybody. He don't care if you're the first round pick or the 100th round pick. He's going to treat you the same way to get what he needs out of you. But the bigger thing is,
I don't see anything wrong with that either.
no, I don't either. But that's the way to get league is run now.
Yeah.
All these people I talk to who are in the league, I said, man, and even players. I tell you guys this all the time. When I talk to former players about why you're not coach, man, I can't coach these kids nowadays. It's the first thing. It's the first thing they say. I can't coach these kids nowadays, man.
Right.
You got to treat these kids like you got to pamper these kids to play football.
Yes.
They're getting paid to play football. You got to
Yep.
pamper them. But the bigger picture is, would he toe the company line? Because coaches say everything that you're supposed to say within the guidelines of the company policy. Would he be one to toe the company line and not have the PR staff scrambling, sending out apology emails weekly? We are well aware of what he said. We have no comment at this time.
I could just, there's no way that's happening. Like, there's no way. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Plain and simple.
Pimp size. I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Well,
goodbye.
You're not done, but you'll get a break here. Let's get a timeout in.
2 minutes, you guys are on your own, man. I'm done.
We'll get a quick one in here. We're a tad behind, but that's okay. When we come back, a busy day, man. Sirianni, he's going to have to make some serious decisions here because Shane Steichen, gone. Jonathon Gannon, gone. And we didn't even get to the offensive side of the free agents. We'll do that when we come back and throw some birthdays your way, movies, sneak in a little Valentine's question. We'll do all those things when we come back. He's Barrett. He's Derek. I'm Rob. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, Razor Technology time. Razor Technology's comprehensive managed service provider solution delivers constant monitoring, on-demand assistance, and rapid issue resolution. Through data-vetted and insight-driven implementation, they strengthen your existing IT resources with both human power and expertise that reduces security risks and downtime while enhancing organizational efficiency and productivity. They are a strategic resource for adaptive and fast-growing companies that need help selecting, implementing, and managing their IT services. Their goal is always bigger than one project, one problem, or one upgrade. It's improving overall functioning of their partners and helping them achieve their business objectives through ongoing synergistic relationships. Give your IT team the freedom to refocus by augmenting their reach with Razor Technology. Contact Razor Technology today to learn how their managed services can protect and enhance your business by calling 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit them online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.